Let's do some practice with the power equation. First thing is always to write down what we know. And in example 1, we have how much work is done, so we're solving for work, using a 75 watt light bulb for 1 hour. So 75 watts is our power. You have to be really careful here, because here as a symbol, this W means work. Here as units, this W means watts. If you are worried that you are going to get confused, don't put just a W for watts, write it out. So 75 watts. And the time is 1 hour, which I told you is equal to 3,600 seconds. Now hopefully you know that the SI units for time are seconds, so we have to use this value. And this is because this watts is really the same thing as a joule per second. So we've got to have the same unit for time. We know that power is equal to work divided by time. It's how fast you do that work. So we can put this into our magic triangle to solve for work. Power, work over time. So if we are solving for work, we have power times time. And if we plug into our equation, we have 75 watts times 3,600 seconds. And remember, a watt is a joule per second, so the seconds cancel out, giving us joules. And it does 270,000 joules of work. And honestly, when we're talking about electricity, because you can see this is a 75 watt light bulb for an hour, that's not a huge amount of electricity. A lot of times we'll answer in kilojoules, so that would be 270 kilojoules. You won't need to worry about that. I just figured I'd mention it, because if you hear talk about electrical work, it will often be in kilojoules. So in number 2, a set of pulleys is used to lift a piano weighing 1,200 newtons. We know that that's a force when we're lifting something. The weight is the force we have to use to lift it. The piano is lifted 3 meters. That's a distance. In 60 seconds. That's a time. How much power is used? So we know that power equals work divided by time, but we don't have work. So we know that work equals force times distance, which we have. So we have to solve for our work first. 1,200 newtons times 3 meters. So we do 3,600 joules. And to solve for our power, we do 3,600 joules divided by 60 seconds. And that tells us that we use 60 watts of power. So even if I make you use both equations, they are still simple 3-variable equations. You should be able to put them together to get any answers you need. Let's do one more. How long, that means you're being asked about time, does it take for a blender to do 3,750 joules of work if it exerts 250 watts of power? So if we look at time, if we want to solve for time, we have work divided by power. So we plug in the 3,750 joules divided by 250 watts, which is a joule per second. So we get that it takes 15 seconds. Try the example problems below and make sure that you have a good handle on this before you move on and do the assignment.